So I'm making some pretty decent progress on my first ever Flutter app. I got the profile photo system working yesterday and the day before. I leveraged some third-party libraries for getting this thing to work, the profile photo uploading system. There were two libraries involved. One was a photo picking library. It's called Image Picker. It makes it easy to pick a photo. It works for both Android and iOS. And it handles all the permissions and whatnot. So it made that easy. It was really easy. And I also used an image cropper library. It's called an image cropper. So when somebody picks a photo, they can crop it. So if I click on this, choose a photo, say it's that one, then you can crop it, zoom in, zoom out. Pretty good functionality. Done. And it updates. So that actually uploads the image to my server, and that part of the app is working. I'm so excited. And also you can see I added some artwork that my designer did. My designer. So yeah, that's a pretty good chunk of functionality in the hole. That's a pretty good chunk of functionality done. And the next major chunk of functionality before I release this mofo is the paywall. And that is the next major chunk of development I'm going to start working on probably today. But I must admit this isn't the most exciting project to work on. So I'm kind of chomping at the bit to do something a little bit more interesting. There's some ideas I've been thinking about for my photo editor, for my image editor that I might work on before getting back to this. But I don't know. We'll see. I do want to get this thing done though. I'm excited to get a presence in the Android or in the Google Play Store. I'm excited to finally have a cross-platform app out there bringing revenue to my business because I've been sort of struggling with churn with my existing portfolio. I've kind of reached the limit of the amount of money I can make with my existing portfolio. I'm kind of capped at the 5 to 6K a month range right now. I'd like to break out of that and get to like 10K a month in income from my app business. So this app I'm hoping can help me work toward that milestone. So the process of making this profile picture photo uploading system was pretty easy in Flutter because I had a bunch of third-party libraries to leverage. In iOS, I probably would have had to do a lot more custom development, but in Flutter, I had some existing libraries to leverage, which made it pretty easy. I mean, the photo cropper that you see here on this webpage, I may have made some different design decisions if I did this myself, if I created it myself, but I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It does pretty much everything I need. The only thing it didn't do was it didn't allow you to set a minimum size of the image. It only let you set a maximum size. So somebody can upload a minuscule profile photo for whatever reason. They could upload a pixel as their profile photo, technically, and it would work. It'd be a stupid thing to do, but the app would allow you to do it. I wouldn't have allowed that if I was making this from scratch myself, but such a minor point that it doesn't really matter. It's not necessarily a bad thing to go deep and reinvent the wheel, so to speak. Like the process of writing your own photo cropper would be actually very beneficial to you as a developer. In the process of doing so, you would gain a lot of knowledge about the underlying technology. So you'd come close to becoming a Flutter expert in the process of building a image cropper yourself. But in my case, I mean, I've done stuff like that before, like in SwiftUI. I built a image cropper in SwiftUI, and in the process became much more knowledgeable about SwiftUI. But the way I'm approaching this project is I'm definitely prioritizing getting shit done. I want to ship as soon as possible at the expense of perhaps not going as deep as I might otherwise if I had to actually build a lot of stuff myself. But that's okay, because I want this app out in the world generating revenue for my business. I don't necessarily want to become a Flutter expert. And maybe that'll happen in time as I do more apps in Flutter. If I do more apps in Flutter, maybe that'll happen. And maybe it won't. Another thing that I noticed is the download size of Flutter apps is absolutely ridiculous. It's like orders of magnitude larger than what a native app would be with the same functionality. So this app you see before you, this Family Ledgers app, if I did it native on iOS, the file size would probably be under 10 megabytes. But with Flutter, it's like almost 50 megabytes, which is ridiculous. So that's something to think about. I don't know if it matters all that much these days, but it's something to consider. Anyway, next up will be the paywall. So my next video will probably be about how that's going. And after the paywall, it will be, I reckon, submitting to the app stores and doing screenshots and all that fun stuff. And I bid you adieu, my Freundin, mein Freund. I bid you adieu.